We are live.
And how are you today? How many different ways can I say that?
I know you're going to run out soon. You're going to run out.
Actually, it's a genuine question. How are you today?
How are you?
If there's anybody watching at all. There's nobody watching.
We've got one on YouTube.
I'll ask again. How are you today? It's a genuine question. How are you? That one person who's watching us.
Two now.
Whee.
Hey, it's always that slow trickle, right? Where your connection is not great on the Facebook. Now it's just recording.
Oh no.
That happened last time, didn't it?
Yeah.
Gideon Stoop. Hello. Hello, Gideon. Stoop. Stuck. Stoop. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
The Wi-Fi.
On the Wi-Fi. So we're just sorting the Facebook to getting the 5 gear. Maybe it's Facebook to getting the 5 gear. Maybe it's further away. Needs a 2 gear.
No, it was on the 2 gear.
What is it? Frida's on. Afternoon from work. Jennifer Taylor. Hello, boys. How we doing?
I'm just going to be really close at the moment, and the 4 gear is not working either.
Oh dear. Man down. Man down.
Back on the Wi-Fi.
You going on the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I'll turn off my Wi-Fi. In case I was stealing your Wi-Fi. Stealing your Wi-Fi. We're just getting everything sorted. Anne's on. Hi, Anne. Oh, something jumped up there. We're just sorting the Facebook and then we'll get rocking with it. Oh, I went green there.
No, it's not working.
Oh, it's green.
Hey.
Hey, there we are. Izzy Garalden. Hi, Ron Grant's on. Good day, coaches. So we think we've solved the Facebook issue.
Hopefully.
What did you have to do? Come off the Wi-Fi and go on again? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
The good old fashioned. Holly Dolly's on.
Hey, Holly Dolly.
Gideon saying, "Ack, cack, my phone's bulking."
Cack, my phone's booking.
No idea what that means.
David DeMarco's on, and Elizabeth Coffee.
Elizabeth Coffee.
It's like the drink, but spelt different. It is!
Anne's in. I'm in Costa, so can't hear you. Hand signals, please. We need to learn some. What about the international distress signal? That'll do. Rodders is on. Good morning, men. Your sweater is offy bra, Coach Stephen. Hey.
Thanks, mate. That's thanks with an F. Thanks.
Michael McKill, hello from Brooklyn, New York. Sorry for my Irish Gaelic from Gideon. Is it frozen again? It's struggling, isn't it?
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
Oh, no. You don't get
usually struggle here, do you?
No, not normally. Yeah. What's happening with the Facebook? Fancy cups, Holly. Yep. DeMarco's on. Hi there. Matteo Bandera. Hello. So you're on the Wi-Fi, yeah? You normally get 4G on your own phone.
I do, but that didn't work either.
Ah. Facebook is frozen when your heart's not open. Facebook crapped out of me, had to switch. Yeah, we're having issues with Facebook, DeMarco. It's on our end. Not sure what's wrong, to be honest. Normally we get a perfect signal here. Heather Hassan switched to. Yeah, Madonna. I'm a bit of Madonna. Can't go wrong, right? Oh, something's working again here, mate. Whatever you've done.
Is it?
It's moving here. I don't know if you're just... No, it's obviously behind a bit. It's gone green. So is that off the Wi-Fi? Or?
That's off the Wi-Fi now.
Oh, well. Hopefully we've got it sorted now, maybe. Potentially.
We shall see.
Roger Toledo, hello! Or Roger Toledo.
No, we were really happy with the framing. We got it much better today, but actually we've still got like lots of space.
I know, do you know what it is? It's when I set the framing up for YouTube, right? The window that it shows is not the same as that when it goes live.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah.
It shows you with like...
Yeah, because
perfect.
your head was like right against the ceiling, right?
Yeah, whereas now it's like...
Yeah.
Oh well. Right, so creating the perfect environment for fat loss.
Yeah, so creating the right conditions.
Yeah.
For fat loss. So one of the questions that came in was, with everything that we teach and everything we coach, is it the same for every single person, or does an individual's environment play a factor? And yes, you can put that word environment, and you can split it up into many different component parts. And yes, 100% your environment will play a factor in your weight loss. And more often than not always, but it will be psychological. Some people just require a little bit more willpower because of their environment. Sometimes it's the food that's available to you. There are lots of to's and fro's, but we're going to cover the most important ones today.
So sometimes one of the easiest ways to do this is, let's just say you'd gained weight over a period of time, maybe over 5 years, 10 years. You could have a look at your lifestyle and try and notice the factors that are in your lifestyle that have added to this. Do you have a fast food place nearby that you're more likely to go to because a long day of work, you're tired and you can't be bothered cooking? Has that led to your weight loss? Has your food choices in the supermarket, because you're in and out in certain aisles you go down, has led you to do certain choices? Do you have friends or family members that have particular eating habits that has meant that you've then had bad eating habits? Like, at the easiest one, we've got young kids. So young kids, sometimes you're making stuff for their dinner, they want some things that I would not necessarily choose myself. The tendency is, oh, I'll just have a bit of that too. Or if I make pudding for them, oh, I'll have a bit of pudding too. So that would be a factor for myself to look at. That's part of my environment.
Whereas I'm actually quite lucky in that respect, because our girl loves cucumber, and that's all I ask for. Cucumber and grapes. But other factors come into play, like, although the kids are great, the wife tends to buy biscuits, not for herself, but for our mum coming round. There's always digestive biscuits in the cupboard. As soon as I see them, I'm like, ooh, and there's been times when you've been around, I'm like, do you want a digestive biscuit? And they're like, yeah. We end up eating 3 or 4 each. So all these little things do play a factor in your life. The other thing is the people in your life. And what they do on a day-to-day basis. What are their daily habits? And what you'll find is that there's a phrase, and I can't remember who coined it first, but it's, you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. Now, whether you want to be very specific and say it's the 5 people, you can just generalize that and say you will be the average of the people you spend most time with. Therefore, like I would say, like, I've got a client I see 4 times per week. So it's 4 hours per week that I'm spending with him. That's more than I spend with my parents. It's more than I spend with any other client, with friends even. It's quite a lot of time. Therefore, you start to mold in, and you're very similar. I know that. So, and that's not for, obviously, for a weight loss, but that sometimes helps with just general habits, your mindset around business and love life and whatever else. So when you're trying to lose weight, you want to be thinking, okay, well, who do I spend most time with, and how are they within that field? My dog is...
Is she dropping bombs?
Yeah.
It hasn't wafted this way yet.
Man, tell you stink.
Oh.
So you've always got to look at your environment, and you can start to mold your environment. So that one about the people are in your life, we encourage you to, this is going to sound really dickish, but upgrade your 5. If you're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with, then upgrade your 5 and say, and we're not saying to drop your friends and divorce your partner. What we're saying is look to what you're trying to achieve, and then look for people who are already better at that than you. Going to a gym, for instance, can be very beneficial, and obviously to use equipment is one thing, but actually speaking to people who are maybe a few steps ahead of you,
or like-minded, certainly.
and certainly like-minded, who have been on a program, for instance, and that actually leads on to what we're doing. You know, we've got our online program, and part of our membership is this online community where people can chat, they can interact, they can ask questions based on the program, they can send photos in of their meals to give other people ideas, and it's just a really nice interactive community. Now that's one way of upgrading your environment, to say, well, I want to be a fitter and healthier person, I want to be interacting with people who are all trying to do the same thing.
Because the flip side to that, and it's generally with friends that you might, let's just say you embark on a health kick, and we'll just call it a health kick, a lifestyle change, but you had a goal in mind, you're like, I'm going to be healthier than where I am now. But you might have a couple of friends who really like to drink, and drink a lot. We're not just drink to have happy times, like they will literally drink to get drunk. And perhaps there was a time in your life when hanging around them was great.
Excuse me.
There was maybe a time in your life when that was great, but you've grown to the point where you're like, no, I want to be healthy now. And then hanging around them, they're still wanting to lead that lifestyle. They're coming around and bringing large bottles of spirits and like, let's get started early. And you're saying, no, I'm changing that. I don't mind the odd drink. I don't mind being merry, but I don't want to be kicking the arse out of it because I've got stuff I want to do tomorrow. I want to make the most out of my weekend. And then you'll very notice quickly is that you'll want to distance yourself from those sort of bad habits because you're creating your new path. You're creating a new environment that's positive. Now let's just say you then start surrounding yourself with people, that you have friends that were in the same mindset as you, that they would like a few drinks, but then come 11 o'clock, half 11, they're like, right, I'm going to go home, I've got the gym in the morning, or I'm up early to walk the dog. So because they're all cutting it short or not drinking so much, you don't feel out of place doing that too. So you're like, oh great, because I had planned to do things tomorrow as well. So being around people that are thinking the same way or wanting the same kind of paths as you, it makes it easier for you to continue on those paths.
Definitely. So the other thing you should be considering here is you will mold to the strongest person depending on the subject matter we're discussing here. So I just give you the example of one of my clients. I see 4 hours per week. Now, he sees me 4 hours a week. Now, I'm saying, like, I see him 4 hours a week, therefore he has an influence on me. He doesn't have an influence when it comes to the physical abilities, because that's what we spend those 4 hours on. We spend it on the physical abilities. But I know that I am, steps above him in the health and fitness field. Therefore, he doesn't have an impact on me because I'm come from a position of power. However, from a business point of view, he has a greater impact on me in that sense. Now, it's always dependent on who's the stronger person for that particular subject matter you're talking about. That's where the influence will come in. So by joining a group of sorts, you'll find that everyone's talking about the same thing and everyone starts to mold to the strongest person. And if you're the strongest person in the room, then you should be rewarded for having that impact on those around you.
And DeMarco, I know he's having a laugh here, but said, I hang out with 5 people fatter than myself this way. I look skinny. Now, we know that that's a bit of banter. However, you have to think, DeMarco, for the people that are overweight or certainly heavier than yourself, you'll be a big impact in their life. You'll be subconsciously, especially if you're following exercise plans, trying to get healthy, you'll be having an impact on them. Now, you just have to be very careful that you stay strong and be aware of it, because if they are negatively influencing you, saying, oh, why are you keeping fit? Then that's when you start to have to reevaluate that. If they're actually respectful of you and say, wow, good for you, DeMarco, you'll actually be having a positive impact on their life. And it might take a bit of time, but they might slowly but surely start to say, oh, well, maybe, DeMarco's getting on this getting healthier. I might start doing small changes and so on and so forth. So it's important, we weren't exactly saying ditch your friends if they're depending on who you surround yourself, but it's about weighing up, are they having a positive or negative impact, and are you having a positive or negative impact on them? So if they're having a negative impact on your goal, then you would want to spend less time with them, regardless of what your goal is. Whether that's, some people want to stop smoking, but they've got friends that still smoke. Now, if they are positively reinforced, if they're going for a smoke, because there is friends that do that. I've been in situations where one friend in the group stopped smoking, and this other guy was still smoking. He was going out for a cigarette, and the friend had had a few drinks. Said, "I'll come out for one." And the friend that smoked said, "No, you've stopped for about a year now. I'm not giving you one." And he was like positively reinforcing. He wasn't quite ready to give up yet, but he wasn't going to let that friend jump over the edge. So he was still a very good friend. That he was like sort of praising his success. So for DeMarco, with your situation, just make sure that when you said 4 or 5 friends that are larger than yourself, as long as they're not going to try and pull you back down, it's like that line from The Godfather, every time I'm out, they pull me back in. As long as they're not pulling you down back into habits that would make you gain weight, similar habits that they've had that's forced them to gain weight, as long as they're not pulling you down, then take your position almost as team captain to pull them up.
Also, you've got to consider where you get your happiness from too. So I'm just thinking about the different levels of, again, whichever subject matter we're talking about. If we're talking about weight loss, if you were on a desert island and it's just the 5 of you, and you're like, George, you know what? I'm the lightest here. I'm nothing much to worry about. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are fit and healthy. It's just fit and healthy compared to, and that's what it's always a comparison. If Rab and I were to stand next to, I don't know, like bodybuilders who are on stage, you know, when they're like absolutely, like we would be like, yeah, we're not in that good
overweight,
shape. Yeah. But it's depending on the level that we're talking about. In terms of leanness, where are you happiest? Whereas you can then be a little bit wise and be very mindful about your situations. You say, do you know what? I'm happy enough in this little scenario, but if I was to go out with, if I was to walk downtown, how would I stand? Where would I be? From us, even from a YouTube point of view, when we first started, we were like, we don't really care how many subscribers we've got. We just want to move forward. And you would look at people in our local area. Like we met a guy right back at the start, and he was doing some things for Scotland on YouTube, and he seemed to think he was quite a big deal. And like, okay, do you know what? Like we'll chase him. And I think he had maybe 13 or 14,000 people subscribers, and we're like, okay, we'll just. And then as soon as we're at, we're like, yes, and we then class ourselves as doing quite well, because you then surround yourself with other people who are doing YouTube, other making videos, other coaches, you know, within your local area. And then as you progress, you then start to compare yourself to other sources, but you've always got to be mindful of, well, what's actually important to me? What are we doing this for? And that's the same for you guys. Like if you're losing weight and you get to a level, like say for instance you're 5 stone overweight and you're like, do you know what, if I could just lose 3 stone, I'll be quite happy. And it's because you compare yourself to those who are 5 stone overweight. As soon as you're only 2 stone overweight, you're like, well, doing quite well, you feel quite happy with yourself. But then you can then say, well, do you know what, I could take this up a stage further, and once you get used to just being 2 stone overweight, you can then say, well, do you know what, I'm going to lose like another 1.5 stone, so I've just got 7 pounds that I can sort of play around with. So always be mindful of your environment, always be mindful of your goals and what you're trying to achieve, and then be very clever and wise about what steps you're taking and what influences you have in your life.
So some of the action points, very simply, is, as Stephen said earlier, you want to try and at least spend a little bit extra time with someone who has the same goal as you but is better than you, whoever that is. Someone that is, so if weight loss or getting in shape or getting bigger, whatever it is your goal, spend a little bit more time with someone that's that one step ahead of you, because you'll push onwards.
Or even at the same level as well, because that phrase, the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. So if you've got 2 people, like I think that's why Rab and I will encourage each other on, whether it's for our fitness, whether it's for the business aspect. We're in this together. Now we both bring our own thing into the business, and you'll do that as well. When it comes to weight loss, you'll have your strengths and your weaknesses, as does every single person. But then as soon as you start sharing your own experiences, when you ask for help, when you offer help, the whole, okay, so the group, so we've currently got 120 people in our clan-ish, in our Everything clan. So the 120 people are far greater than the sum of their parts. If they were all individual people, they wouldn't be achieving as much as what they are at the moment. So just by being part of a bigger group, you then instantly, even if everyone's at the same level, you instantly just multiply your results.
I mean, that is the benefit of the clan, is that everybody's going through the same thing. They're all wanting to make healthier choices, and they're all believing they're allowed to have things off the wagon now and again, but the team help them get back on board. Someone might ask a question about, oh, you know, I'm going to go and do this. There'll always be someone that's on the same path or tread that path previously. They might be able to give a bit of advice, and right away you think, okay, I'm not alone in this. You know, I've got a bit of support. I'm not walking the lonely road.
Now, so the wife's watching, and she's commented to say, I bought some Trek bars for you, and they're in the cupboard. Well, wifey, we found them.
You know, the funniest part is, so he came in through the door, he's like, I love my wife. And I was like, what, why? And then I had to fix it. I was like, no, I meant like, why extra today? And then he threw the Trek bars.
And here's a little insight into sort of communication and language and tone of voice. Because if Rab had said that, and the tone of voice, I was kind of like, because she's awesome. But you could have taken that a stage further and go, why? Like, why would you love that? Yeah, because the past couple of times we always like recently we've been having a wee cup of coffee while we're doing live feeds. But I like something to sort of munch on just before. I like a bit of a snack, and those Trek bars, they're really good. They've got a little bit of protein in them, not quite enough for us, therefore we always have two. And there's been a couple of times we're like, oh man, there's no Trek bars in the cupboard. So good on the wife. She went and bought some. I actually seen that there's a few in the boys, because the boys have them as well. So there's a few in the boys' box, but then she left 4 just down below for us.
Nice. It's funny earlier on you were saying about how your wife buys biscuits for when her mum comes round. It's like the bane of your life. I need to make an online confession right now. I have an addiction. And do you know, it wasn't until the first time I had them, and my wife keeps buying them for the girls, but she buys 2 packs at a time. I genuinely never thought it'd be me, but
What is it?
I'm Rab Shields, and it has been 17 hours since my last Oreo cookie. Okay, that's a lie. It wasn't just a single cookie, it was a whole packet. Honestly, like when I was younger growing up, I liked cookies, and I was never a sweet. I could take or leave biscuits. I don't know what it is about the Oreo cookies now. I'll eat one, I'm like, no, another one, another one, another one, another one. And so when I opened up the cupboard the other day, she went and bought another 2 packs. I was like, Kelly, what have you done? She's like, they're for the girls. I was like, but I know where they are. Can you not hide them?
Yeah, well, I've got a very sweet tooth, and as soon as and this is really our lesson here is, if you know where your strengths and weaknesses lie. A lot of people say, oh, you know, I'd love to be fit, but I just keep eating sweets. I'm like, the only way you can eat sweets or cookies or whatever is if somebody buys them for you or you buy them yourself. Therefore, cut out the middleman. I just say, do you know what, just don't buy them, or if you're going to buy them, hide them from me so I just can't see them. If I don't see them, then I'm not going to want them. So Sarah now, like, she buys digestives for her mum, but they're always at the back of the cupboard. And if I was to go right now, I'm pretty sure I'd find them. But because I don't see them, they're not on my mind, therefore I'm not going to have them. I'll have some nice, healthy protein Trek bars instead.
I feel so dirty when I've done it, because I'll literally go and I'll take 2 or 3, and I'm like, right, and I'll eat them, and I eat them really quick. I can just chuck them in my gob, crunch, done. I'm like, all right, and I go back, and then I go to town, and then I'm just going to have to confess completely. When I finish the pack, I then hide the wrapper in the very bottom of the bin because I'm ashamed. And I've got my excuse already. So if the wife said, you know, where did the Oreos go? I'll be like, this is convincing. What Oreos? That was good, eh?
She actually didn't buy you Oreos, did she? You didn't eat them at all. I totally bought that.
What Oreos?
There you go.
Yeah.
There was a time, so the boys got, you know, the chocolate coins that you get. So, well, I went to put something in the bin, and there's these wrappers. And I know the boys had been at nursery all morning, and there's these wrappers in the bin, the coin foil. I was like, did you enjoy those chocolate coins, Sarah? She was like, what? What chocolate coins? She made it all funny. I was like, She was like, I only had 2.
You get these, I went in a huff with the Lindt truffles. Now these Lindt truffles come in like a red, you get white packet ones and brown packet ones now, but the main one was red truffle packet things, and you just pull them, open them, they're wee chocolate ball truffle things made by Lindt. Anyway, I went in a huff with them one day and actually chucked the box.
Why?
Because I love them, absolutely love them, but it was a love-hate thing. It was always going to come to an end.
I love you so much.
I love you so much, but I hate your wrapper. So I was opening one up, chuck one in, but then you've almost eaten it and you're trying to fiddle around, get the next one. I was just like, I can't deal with this.
I love you so much, I can't be around you anymore.
I actually threw the box in the end, and I was like, that's it, we're finished. And I haven't had one since.
Oh dear.
But yeah, the wrappers are just too frustrating. It's just when you're mentioning the chocolate coins, can't pick I've got terrible nails, so I'm trying to pick these bloody things open, they frustrate the hell out of me. Because you've got to get them open, and each one's got 2 sides. You're like,
but it's good for slowing you down though, right? See, if like us, we like our food. So that's why I like pistachio nuts. Because you have to crack open the shells, and like if it's just nuts, like we'd watch, you know, a UFC fight or something, and you just go through bags of nuts and crisps because it's so easy. Because pistachio nuts, you're like, I'll just do one at a time, and yeah, it's all cool.
I've got my technique down for pistachios and everything. When I put those nuts in the mouth, they're cracking quick.
So, Maggie McGee interpreter. Are you actually an interpreter, or is that like a last name? I would love to hear more about fighting belly fat for women of a certain age. So, fighting belly fat, depending on what level of leanness that you are. I had somebody asking me the other week about losing belly fat, but the reality was she just had to lose overall body fat. She had to create a calorie deficit to lose overall body fat. Too many people focus on spot reductions, like I want to lose fat from here, but the reality is, well, in some cases, I'm not saying this is you, in some cases, and a lot of cases, you just have to lose overall body fat. Often fat that's stored around your belly comes from high sugar foods, so if you're having anything that creates a big insulin response, like bread and bread products like bagels and donuts and whatnot. Tilly, come lie down. Anything that's going to increase blood sugar level very fast will introduce a lot of insulin to your bloodstream, and it'll get rid of that sugar, and it pushes into fat cells, and it'll go around your midsection. So point number one would be to minimise any fast release sugars, so sweets and Oreo cookies, bagels, bread, that type of thing. Then just get rid of it completely. Making sure that you're getting some sort of intense training in, so that you're actually burning the sugars off as well. So a lot of people will just go and they'll do, you know, slow steady cardio. They'll go on a cross trainer. They'll go for a walk, a jog, a swim. But you want to be firing up your fast twitch muscle fibers, so that your body's burning more carbohydrates and storing a little bit more muscle mass. So that's two little quick tips before we go too in depth with that question.
Too in depth. Is there anyone watching that is thinking about making a change to their health, whether it be weight loss or just eating better or starting exercise? So give us either a hand up or a thumbs up if you're falling to that category. If you're already following a regime, put that up as well, basically. What are we doing? Are you flipping us?
Should have done this at the start. Keep forgetting.
Oh, I thought you did when you were putting the beards on us and everything.
No, I forgot to do it. Did that work? Yeah, it did.
I'm not sure if Kilted Bears, this is the start of a joke or not. He said, "Why did God make carbs so good?" Now he has put a question mark, so I'm thinking it's a genuine question.
I think that's more of a cry for help. It's like, why did he make them so good?
Apparently we've got Colin Farrell in the feed.
Colin Farrell.
Lots of thumbs up for people here that are either wanting to make a change or currently doing something.
Happy days, yeah.
Anyway,
Caroline Goodson's on.
Yeah.
Paulina, yeah, thumbs
Sherry's
up.
on. Paulina's there as well. She's double fisting again. Teresa Mink's on. Frida's on. Trish C's on. Yeah. So if you're not, or if you don't know where to start, we have a special offer on at the moment with our clan membership. It's literally, you can sign up for $1. Now for that dollar, if your goal was weight loss, we've got our 12-week transformation on there, our Everlean product. Basically you can sign up there, that gives you all the nutrition, workouts for 12 weeks, mindset lessons. So that element all comes as part of the clan. If you just want to get fit, then we've got clan workouts in there that there's loads.
We've got 15 workouts that all last 4 weeks each. So you've got well over a year's worth of workouts that you can just basically pick and choose. Somebody was asking today, one of our new clan members said, you know, I don't know where to start. We've actually got a workout called Fresh Start. So that's a good place to start, because when you sign up, you'll automatically be put onto the Everlean program on the first Monday after you join. If you then don't want to do it, you can send us a message and we can take it off or put it to a later date. But if you don't say anything, it'll start on the first Monday. But if you don't want that, there's literally all 15 workouts, and you just basically pick and choose which one you want to go with. We do say stick to it for at least 4 weeks to actually see the progression. One of the main, and if you've ever downloaded our ebook, which actually is on our website as well, if you want that for free, just go to our website and you'll find it. One of the points that we make in the ebook is your exercise can come in many different shapes and forms, but it has to, in order to be effective, it has to adhere to 3 set criteria, and that is regular. Most people know your exercise should be regular. It should be intense. Again, most people know that you should be slightly out of your comfort zone, but it needs to be progressive. You need to then always look to do a little bit more each time you do a workout, or even each month, just look back and say, right, where was I at the start of the month and where was I at the end of the month? And this is what these workouts are great for. There's a progression each week for each workout. So stick to it for 4 weeks, see the progressions through, so that you can actually look back and say, do you know what? I improved my fitness this month, and that is the key to long-term fitness.
Also within the clan, we've got healthy recipes. We've got a string of Scottish recipes going to be added in there too as well, which is good. So every week there's a new recipe in. And then one of the key elements of our clan is, which falls back onto this video, is how to maximise your fat loss with the right environment. Now, as social creatures, human beings, we do well in groups. Even if you think you're not a good person in groups, our online community helps you. So that's our main element of the clan. People come in, you can post progress pics, ask questions about fitness, nutrition, have a little bit of banter here and there. So a lot of our members have found that quite useful. And again, that you can get that all for just $1.
One of the great things about this, because there's a bunch of research out which we've been looking into recently about the people closest to you. Sometimes it can really help to not tell the people closest to you what you're trying to do. If you want to lose weight, it's actually sometimes good to keep it a secret and say, do you know what, I'm just going to do this. But you still need that support network. So what do? Well, actually there's plenty of support networks online, ours being one of them, where you can actually get the specific advice. You can get, you know, professional coaching. And as much as Rab and I will dick around on YouTube and make fun of ourselves, we've been personal trainers for over 15 years. We know what we're talking about when it comes to health and well-being. And we still have fun in our clan, but we're very on top of answering questions, making sure that people are moving forward. You can message us directly on the app as well. You can email us if there's anything a little bit more long-winded. But we're on top of things. We know what we're talking about when it comes to health and well-being, and the community that are going to hold you accountable, they're going to support you. It allows you to then just delve into something and do it on your own 2 feet, and in the respect of, you know, your closest family and friends. You can keep it a secret to them, and you can do it with us.
Now, also coming soon, we've got our lean bulk program. So that's for anyone who wants to gain muscle or put on a little bit of healthy weight. That'll be due out probably mid-December if everything goes to plan.
Catherine Bourne was literally just asked about that.
Oh, I knew you were going to be asking, Catherine. So yes, the lean bulk is coming. It's in production, shall we say. Not long now, so that'll be coming. It's going to follow. It's going to be a 12-week transformation, similar to the Ever Lean. So there'll be nutrition in there. There'll be the workouts. Sort of mindset element to it as well, and it'll be drip fed much like Everlean. Now, the great thing about the Everlean and the Everbulk is you can come in, you can start the program. Let's just say you got busy for any reason, you can reset at any time. You just drop us a message, we can reset it, easy peasy. We've had people that have run through the Everlean program, enjoyed it, enjoyed the structure it gave them, and then they've said, you know what, I quite fancy doing that again. Can I do it again? We're like, sure. It takes us 10 seconds to reset it. So
it's actually about 50 seconds, man.
Have an Oreo in that
so sometimes, so when we've been building up this clan, you've got to understand that there's 2 of us, and at the moment we've got 120 clan members. We can't, although we've got our long-term plan for having a big membership, we can't, say for instance 1,000 people right now wanted to jump onto it, we'd have to say no, we can't do it, because we cannot service 1,000 people, okay? So at each stage of the way, we've basically put on a little limit. We're not too sure where that limit is, and for this one, we've got a rough idea of where we'll go with it before we then just calm down on the offers, and we're just going to just let it sit until we get used to it, because we've got to put things in place in order to make sure that every single clan member is looked after, they're getting responded to, we can keep up to date with everything. So if you think about this, there will become a time when we might just put a cap on the membership and say, let's just leave it there for a few months, and then we'll go on. So if you're thinking about this at all, take advantage of this $1 offer now.
Before it becomes too exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. There is an element of exclusivity to our clan. It is an open offer at the moment, but there will come a time when we just say, do you know what, we can't service these people effectively. It's not fair on the clan members. There's some people who've been with us for well over a year now, and they've shown a lot of loyalty to us, and so we have to show loyalty to them, and making sure that they're looked after. So yeah, just jump in now while it's a $1 offer, and we will be putting a cap on this at some point.
And you can sign up, just go to our website, which is thekiltedcoaches.com, and you'll find it on the website. You can sign up for $1.
There you go. Helen Brewer, there's your answer. She says, how do you join the clan? There you go, just go to the website, thekiltedcoaches.com.
Now, DeMarco's asked a really good question. Needing weight loss, what are your thoughts on pre and post workout shakes?
Yeah, okay.
Happy days. So I'm a big fan of post-workout shakes. In recent times, I don't really mess around with the pre-workout shakes. That's my personal opinion. There's a lot of people that have them and enjoy them. We actually did a funny video called the Kilted Coaches Tried Pre-Workout Rage, and basically I end up with a Predator mask. Go watch it. For me, a lot of these sort of pre-workouts tend to have a lot of caffeine, a lot of taurine. They tend to be sort of uppers, if you like. They kind of give you a buzz to go train. They're sometimes geared around increasing blood flow, etc. Yeah. I don't like the way they make me feel. They make my heart race, raise my body temperature. I sometimes get a headache from them, depending on the brand, and I get a come down afterwards. Yeah. Like I feel sleepy after training because I've been up so high. Now, to be fair, when we did that we were bench pressing that morning. Actually, output was improved because I wouldn't say I was stronger, but my endurance was better. So I went to my heaviest weight and I got 3 or 4 extra reps at that weight than I would normally have got at that time of the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, basically everything he just said times 2. It was okay, but I just didn't. I wouldn't want to do it on a regular basis. Tell you, stop putting your wet nose on my hand. It's disgusting. I just didn't like the way it made me feel. So I'd much rather just have a coffee, and then half an hour later I'd go for a workout. It just suits me much better. The post workout is a slightly different story.
Yeah.
Now, physiologically speaking, unless you're doing multiple sessions per day, there's no major benefit of having a post-workout shake, but psychologically, and depending on your meal timings, and that's really what it comes down to, is your meal timings, it can make you feel awesome. Like as soon as you finish your workout, you're like, oh, you're dead. Having a shake can just make you feel, do you know what, I feel good now, got my belly full. You feel like your muscles are being fed instantly. But say for instance you were to miss the post-workout and then still have the same amount of calories, the same amount of protein in these kind of set periods of time with like equal gap in between, etc, etc, then the next day your muscles are no better, no worse. But again, psychologically, I'm with Rab. I actually do enjoy a post-workout shake. It just makes you feel good after a workout rather than being sore for the next hour or 2.
JJ's asking, can you lose fat and build muscle at the same time? Yes, that's actually what our lean formula does effectively.
I would always say it depends on the stage of life that you're at. For like a lot of bodybuilders, for instance, it's very difficult because they're so lean already. They either need to be in a sort of catabolic state or an anabolic state. Give or take. Again, that's not an exact science, but generally speaking. However, for most everyday people like Rab and I, for you guys, 100% yes, it's all about tweaking the nutrients to make sure that your muscles have actually got the nutrients so they can be built up, and by doing so you'll naturally start to burn more fat. So yeah, 100%.
And also because muscle's greedy, as you increase your lean muscle, so as you're starting to work out harder, you'll get some nice lean muscle, whether you're male or female, and that muscle's greedy and it starts needing more calories. So it depends if your diet's tweaked properly, you will start to gain lean muscle and burn even more fat than you were previously.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Now Paulina's asked a question here. Now I'm going to read it out, but then we're going to sit on it and we're going to answer it in a wee minute because it's not directly related to what we're talking about. But she says, since it's the FAQ, okay, so it's 3 nice questions, what would your advice be for someone who wanted to start a YouTube channel? Okay, so we'll answer that, Paulina, but we'll carry on this train of thought at the moment, and then we'll come on to more random questions after that. Joey Gallon's on.
Hey, Joey.
Hey. San Francisco. Is that where Joey is? San Francisco.
You just know that when we finally meet Joey, you're going to hear me booming from behind. Joey. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It will happen.
It will happen. So yeah, I knew Joey was on the West Coast. I just wasn't too sure where, because he said that Vegas was his previous home. He was there for quite a lot, right? Second home. Knows it well.
Right.
I still think you look like Gok Wan though in your new profile picture. Cheryl's on.
Shara Goins, hey.
Paulina said, sure, I'll remind you later. In fact, we could probably answer it now because we're going to finish that train of thought now that I said that.
What to do is have a long think about what it is you want to make videos on. I mean, sure, being creative, we're always for pushing people to be creative. You've got to be ready for the long slog as well, because it took us the best part of at least 9 months to get real traction. So you've got to stay at it, you've got to be consistent.
You've got to love it.
Yeah.
You've got to love what you're talking about, and you've got to have fun doing it. If it's a chore at all, you will quit. Unless like we know of people who have started YouTube channels, but they've literally got 100,000 people the instant they release, and it's because they've got connections with other channels. They've got like it's somebody's sister or whatever. So, in fact, somebody was telling me the other day, I can't remember this guy's name, and I was like, what does he do? Like, is he famous? What does he do? And I was like, I looked at his YouTube, and he didn't really do anything. It was just him doing stuff. I'm like, so who is he though? And it turns out he was the brother of Zoella, maybe. Or something like that. I know I've heard of Zoella. But anyway, he was the brother of a famous YouTuber who's doing really well. So unless you're at that stage, if you're going to do it off your own back, you have to enjoy it. So when Rab and I started, it literally took us 9 months to get 100 subscribers, and that was a long. If we didn't enjoy it, if we were not having fun doing it, like I had some close friends of mine who were saying like Stephen, it looks like you're having fun, but is it worth it? Because you're not making money, you're not getting subscribers, you're not creating the impact that you want to create. And I'm like, no, but I am going to create that impact. We're going to have, and it was because we're having fun. We could see where it was going. So if you're starting your own YouTube channel, just think, okay, what am I going to do? Have a schedule as well. This is really important. So some of the advice that we got right at the start was have a schedule, even if it's just once a month. Just do it the same day every single month, religiously, like without fail. You will release a video on that day each month. We decided in the early days that we'd go one a week, but then we very quickly changed that to two. We're like, no, before we even launched, we're like, actually, we've got this idea for doing porridge videos, like 52 ways to do porridge. So we just done a normal video plus a porridge video every single week, and it was like twice a week. Was it every Monday, Thursday to start with?
I think it was.
I think it was Monday.
It was always Mindset Monday. And then the Thursday. Oh,
no, porridge.
Porridge on a Monday. That's right.
Porridge Mondays.
Pre-mindset Mondays.
And then half. It must have been about 6 months in, because we got 26, I think.
Yeah.
And then we changed it to the Mindset Mondays because we ran out of ideas to do the porridge.
Well, it got to the point where we're having fun doing the gimmicks for the porridge, but the actual porridge part itself, it was just kind of it wasn't.
So Joey is visiting his mum, who obviously lives in San Francisco. She's turning 90 this weekend.
Oh, congratulations!
Happy birthday to Joey's mum.
Paulina, another tip as well is I've obviously started the channel with my daughter, and as Steve was saying, you've got to enjoy what you're doing. So I think she's up to 411 subscribers now. So if you've got any young people, go and search for Boss Mila, and you can see her videos. And you've got to sort of look into what other people are doing as well and what's popular. Let's just say you want to do wildlife or photography or travel or whatever you want to do. Have a look at what other people are doing that are similar. Doesn't mean you have to copy them, just get a rough idea of what works. And then when you find out what works, it'll give you a rough idea on where to go. One of the big things we've learned is it's very important, things like your titles and tags. They all play a part. So do your homework on each video, because you're going to spend the time creating the content, editing the content. You've got to enjoy it, but you've got to make sure people see it too. So you've got to get that all right, because there are people that feel like they bang their head off the wall with their YouTube channels, and they're not getting to where they... I think it's because they see these big celebrity channels and they see the stuff they're doing, like, oh, I can do that. But they forget the hard grind that got them there.
And there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you have to take into consideration. I did a mindset on the PT side of things the other day, and it was all about always pull rather than push. Basically the gist of it is get your head in the space of being successful, whether it's weight loss or starting a YouTube channel or just your own career, your love life, whatever it might be. If you've got the mindset of I'm already successful, as you go through any hardship or anything like this, or like learning new skills, if you've already accepted that you're successful and you're there, it's easier to pull, because hardship is like, no, I'm here, and these little hardships and these little hurdles are just there to slow me down slightly, to get me to learn more. The more hurdles you come across, the more you will learn. So have it in your head that you've got a successful YouTube channel. If that's the goal, it might just be a release for you, in which case it doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got. But it can be very satisfying when you start interacting with people. We love chatting to you guys, that's why we do the live feeds. So it is very satisfying, but have it in your head that you're successful, so when you're not gaining traction, you can then delve into it. You say, well, you know what, I'm successful. What does a successful YouTuber do? Well, they research, they watch other YouTube videos on how to start a YouTube channel. You ask people who have got a YouTube channel to give you some tips. So have in your head, like, there's a bunch of stuff that we certainly didn't know at the start, and we've known it now just through our own research.
Yeah. Through
looking at, just reading blogs, reading articles, reading YouTube. You know, the YouTube are great at actually helping you with your channel.
Yeah.
They give you lots of tools. They give you tips and tricks all the time. So just get started, create a schedule, start making videos, and leave your ego at the door, because your first videos are going to be terrible. Unless you're already into filmography, cinematography.
Or unless you're lucky. You might just have a lucky hit in the dark.
Yeah, yeah. But in terms of the way you come across on camera and the angles and everything else, we're still learning. We're 2.5 years in, and we're like, some of our videos were like, yeah, that was pish.
Do you remember that one we posted on Patreon, which was the very first video?
Yes.
So those members of our Patreon, if you scroll through the old videos, we actually posted the original video, which was, well, it was cringeworthy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, people said it wasn't that bad.
It was never actually posted to YouTube.
No, that's right.
We did a bunch of videos wearing the kilts, and to us we were like, yeah, we're the guys in the kilts, and it was just really awkward. I think we had a wee dance as well, didn't we?
Yeah. It was funny. Leo Fruds, you must be new. Hi, Leo. Diamond Lash Ranch, good morning, y'all. And Teresa Mink still on, bless you. Stay. Must be Stephen. Stay.
Paulina saying, thanks for all your words. I was thinking about videos about my paintings.
Yeah.
So what's the angle that you would go with, Paulina, then? Is it going to be, you know, the methods that you use to paint, or where the inspiration comes from? Think about why somebody would want to watch you, because I've seen your paintings and they're pretty good. So, but that at the moment I'm thinking, okay, your paintings are good, but why would I want to watch a video about your paintings unless it's like think about the angle and make sure it's very clear why people should be watching you.
You could go to some cool locations and then paint and do like a time lapse.
You could, yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome. Like,
yeah, scenic, like a famous scene in the world somewhere.
Set yourself up and then put the camera up as a time lapse, and then you could explain the painting afterwards. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I'm going to paint this in my style, so actually the viewer could see what you're painting, and then it's time lapse of you. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
That'd be quite smart. Michelle McMillian Dummer. So yeah, Michelle Dummer's one of our clan members.
That's right. Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey.
You threw me off there with your McMillian. I've not seen that before, but yeah, Michelle Dummer. And AIFD. What's AIFD? Is that like an acronym for something? If it is, what would it be?
AIFD. Affida? Benji, your accent is amazing. What accent?
We don't have an accent.
You need to give your ears a wee wipe.
Yeah.
You've got accented ears.
Music energises and inspires me. Catherine Darrow. That's good.
Michael Rich, may I ask a kilt question?
I guess you can.
Yeah. I guess you can. Yeah. Go ahead.
But this is a question that already answers itself with a bit of a kind of guess.
Yeah. So can I ask a question?
I'm start with it. I'm assuming that. Go for it.
Go for it, Michael.
Ask your question.
Your question. Cheryl Mills is saying, I follow a photographer that's in Scotland. He's awesome. There we are. So, whichever the photographer is, Cheryl, Paulina, have a look at what that photographer is. Find you photographer painting. It could be similar.
Yeah, watch that photography as well, right?
Yeah, get some.
Who's the photographer in Scotland? Is he on YouTube or is he Facebook? Where do you follow him?
Be Instagram.
Instagram. Sinistergram.
Sinistergram.
Very much.
Simon Baxter.
Simon Baxter. Right, we'll Google him later.
Simon Baxter. Do you remember the Turtles? There was a character called, it was Baxter Stockman. I've just answered it myself. It wasn't Simon Baxter.
Baxter Stockman.
Baxter Stockman in the Turtles was the one that turns into the Fly.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's Baxter. He's the genius, but then what then goes wrong? It's basically the movie of the Fly. He becomes the Fly, and the Turtles have to fight him.
Ah, very good. I didn't know the two were connected. That was Jeff Goldblum, wasn't it?
In the movie, but I think that in the Turtles they were doing a parody. Well, not a parody. They were doing a play on. They took that concept. And Baxter Stockman became the Fly.
Yeah, very good.
Cheryl saying that's Baxter Stockman. Simon Baxter's on YouTube and Facebook. Jason saying yes, he had a giant fly swatter. Yeah. Back in the day.
Oh dear, Facebook's struggling again. Boo! I do apologise, Facebook.
So we're waiting for the question from Michael. He must be typing it a long one. Long. We're filming quite a funny one today, weren't we? Which will go out on.
I quite enjoyed today.
Yeah.
It was good. I had this Rab come up with a bit of a concept idea, and I kind of tweaked it slightly, and I think the whole thing just really worked.
What was the funniest bit about it is that we had equipment that we were using for the video, and we went up a hill. But as we're going up the hill, because it's all heavy, we did all the filming at like the bottom third of the hill.
Yeah. Normally we just like stomp up it.
Yeah.
But actually, to get the impact that we needed, we just needed a bit of a slope. So like, yeah, it's a slope at the start. That's cool.
DeMarco's saying, Rab, are your arms getting larger? No, DeMarco, I actually trained biceps today, so they're still pumped.
Pumped up. Look at that.
Tomorrow they'll deflate a wee bit. Right. Oh, we've got Michael's question. Let's see. Alright, so I know what my gym clothes are like after 1.5 hours in the gym. Do you have specific workout kilts as opposed to the ones like you're wearing now? Question! Yeah, actually put a Q on it. You should have left the G on it, that was funny. We use these ones. These are actually sort of, I say lightweight, they're more medium weight kilts, which we exercise in and we wear, basically.
Yeah. We got these ones specifically because we knew what we were going to be involved with in the channel. And we didn't want to have to, you know, if we were out and about and we're like, hey, oh, we should do a video here, and but we don't have the right kilt with us, it's a bit crappy. So we just decided to get the kilts that were going to do the job for most filming ideas and out and about, doing our things. So yeah, we just use these for everything.
And then if we were going out to a nice function, we'd wear fancier kilts for that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. If we were, a lot of our workouts we do outdoors mostly. Indoors training a kilt, it does get sweaty, therefore, yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, Sophie's watching. Hi, Sophie.
Oh, wee Soph. How we doing, Sophie? Soph. What was Soph?
I bumped into Sophie a couple of weeks ago. Nice to see her, actually. Her and her kids.
Oh, she got 2 now.
Hey.
Oh,
she does.
Mummy Soph. That's so she's Mummy Soph.
Tiny little one. I'm guessing maybe slightly bigger now.
Any more questions or questions?
No more questions. Like, there's very few people on Facebook, probably because it keeps
crashing.
Oh, well. Not good. Well, apologise about the signal. We're actually going to get a little Wi-Fi booster put into the man cave to help with this problem, because it's not ideal.
Well, just to finish off, then we will tell you all about the clan again. So if you're thinking about making changes to your health, and whether that's getting fitter or just eating healthier, or if you want to lose weight, the clan is the place to be. And right now, our special offer, which is not going to be on forever, you can sign up for $1 and give it a go.
It's an absolute steal. $1. We've just basically taken out the middleman, any guessworks. Like, there's a bunch of people who are not too sure if the clan's for them or not. It's an awesome place, and we just want to make sure that everyone who's thinking about it can experience it without having to fork out the normal monthly fee, which is actually only $20 anyway. It's actually a steal regardless.
So you can come give it a go for $1.
$1. You can even send, we said this the other day, you can send 4 quarters to us if you want to on a pigeon, and then we'll put you into the clan. Just make sure you put your name and email address onto the pigeon.
Yeah, so we can
teach you how to speak. Send on a parrot and they can tell us.
Alright folks, we're going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Bye bye now.
Bye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye.